I'm here on the set with Beverly John and also Leah Edwards, and we've now been joined with Mr. Andrew Seeley, who is from the St. Lucia Crisis Centre. We thought it was very important to have a man here, not only to get the male perspective on things, but also just to reassure the men out there who, a lot of people just see men as being perpetrators, but they're also victims, and they also need somewhere or someone to turn to. So we're really happy that Mr. Seeley is here with us tonight, and perhaps you can just tell us a little bit about the role of the Crisis Centre and why you're there.
Okay, good night, viewers. The St. Lucia Crisis Centre, traditionally it was seen as just I would say like a group providing support for women, but the Crisis Centre really is a family-oriented organization. And right now we are reaching out to men and getting men to come in and get help for whatever problems that they might be experiencing. And I think now is the right time for men, because not only are men seen as perpetrators, men are also victims, and as victims they have lots of problems, and we are offering support to help them overcome a lot of the issues that they face in a day-to-day situation.
Is it harder for men to talk about their situations?
A lot harder than women, because the thing is, men are more reserved, and they feel like these problems, domestic problems, like they need to keep it to themselves. They might speak to another man, but to just bring it out in the open, I think they think twice before doing that. So now that we have men on staff at the Crisis Centre, I think this is an opening for the men to come and share their problems, and we'll do our best to try to assist as much as possible.
What is the most common problem that men tend to want to discuss?
Well, what we've found so far is some of them access to the children. Like they find that sometimes they are deprived of the rights to even spend time with their children. And one of the problems with the family court is that if you're not married and the woman has not taken you before the family court, you cannot apply to have custody or even visitation rights. And that is one of the things that needs to be
That's
changed.
not true.
As far as the setup of the family court is concerned.
All right. Well, I have to say that Beverly is saying that she's not too sure that is actually correct information.
It is
and anyone, any parent, a father has as much right. If you're not married, the parental responsibility lies with the mother, because it's the same as the British law. However, as a father, you have a duty, and you also have rights with concerning your child. So you have rights to visitation, you have rights to see your child, and you can make an application for custody if you believe that the child is not being appropriately cared for by the mother, and you as a father are in a better position to take care of that child, and the child is being neglected. You have to have proof that the child is being neglected and is at risk. But once you have the sufficient evidence and proof, and then it would have to be investigated by the social workers, either at Human Services or at the family court. But any male can make application for visitation with their child, and it would not be denied to them.
We just had a seminar on this, and the lawyer involved was saying, well, she had been a magistrate as well, and she was saying that according to the law, the man who is not married does not have access to the child.
Well, I think that's something that we need to clarify, and I'm going to take it upon myself tomorrow.
Yes, please, Delia.
To find out what the actual truth is. But at the moment, we are concentrating on, having some form of support so that gentlemen can come to you. But of course, as giving support, you have to make sure that the information that's given is accurate. So I think that both of us, all of us perhaps, the onus is for us to double check that. But I do think it's very important that men realize that there is a place for them, you know, in St. Lucia.
Yes.
Yes, the crisis center, we are open and we are encouraging men to come in, and we offer as much support as we can, both in terms of counseling and other means of support.
Where
as
is
well.
the crisis center? Can you let
The
our
crisis
viewers know?
center is on Chaussee Road, just opposite the entrance to the gardens, and we have telephone access. You could reach the crisis center at 453-1521, or if it is, in fact, there's a hotline, or two hotlines for that matter. You can have 453-6643 or 712-7574.
Okay, I mean, so far we've actually spoken a lot about men as being victims. But what about men who have issues like they want to stop, like maybe they have anger problems, they want to stop, they're trying to stop. Do you help men in those situations?
Oh yes, we've had success stories with that. Some of the men, especially those who come in voluntarily and admit that they have these anger problems, we've had counselors who have worked with them, and they've really come out successfully in overcoming the anger issues and going back to their families and making meaningful contributions.
So if there are any men out there who are thinking, well, you know what, I do think that I have an issue, I do want to do something about it, but I don't know where to go. Well, now you know where to go. And sometimes we have this thing in our minds, and when I say we, I mean men and women, where we feel that, well, that's how I was brought up, or, well, that's what I saw happening in front of me, and that's why I behave that way. You can't, if you're mature enough, you cannot accept. That might be the truth, but I don't think you can just accept that it's okay because that's what you were brought up and you know what's right and what's wrong. And I always say as well, and I don't know if Beverlyn would agree with me here, is that you know how you would like to be treated.
Yes.
So if you know how you would like to be treated, why are you treating somebody else in a way that you wouldn't want to be treated? Is that a fair comment?
I think that is a fair comment. And you also know right from wrong. And you know that if you know that that is wrong, it's an offense, it is wrong to treat somebody lesser than a human being, why do it?
Okay, well with that we're going to go to a break. Not too long to go. Well, when we come back, we'll try at least to answer a couple more of your questions. This is still Factor Live. We'll be right back.